Hey guys, it's Hoi from Dynasty here, and in this video I want to show Wing Chun application and Taan Sao tactics that are going to help you with your Muay Thai clinching game. This includes how to feel your opponent out, how to trap and close the gap, how to maintain the clinch and continue kneeing your opponent, and last but not least, how to off-balance your opponent and ultimately dominate the clinch. Now, some of these tactics are transferable to other martial arts such as wrestling and no-gi jiu-jitsu. So feel free to play around with the tactics, experiment, and let me know what works for you. If you guys like this video, please like, comment, and share, and subscribe to the channel. The first tactic I want to implement is feeling the opponent out, controlling the distance, and doing a push-pull with my hands. I'm not fully committed on any action. I'm not reaching out to grab his hand right away or his head until I feel where his hands are. If he's not gonna grab me, then I'll grab him. But if he grabs me, then I take the opportunity to start sticking to him and pull him in to knee him to the body. Here's a few more examples of me taking my hands out, feeling where my opponent's wrists are, grabbing a hold of them, and because I've been doing grip training and working the wooden dummy, I'm able to really grab a hold of his wrists, and he really has no answer for that. One of the key benefits of Wing Chun Taan Sao training is developing the sensitivity during this push-pull phase, which gives me the ability to sense where the opponent's hands are in relation to his body. In reaching his center line, I don't have to chase his hands, but if he does give me the hands, then that means it gives me the opportunity to trap them. Here, I'm using a little bit of Huen Sao to get my hands on the inside or to get my hand on the top and momentarily grip his wrist or forearm and put him in a compromising position right here as I cross his arms and trap them against his own body. I'm using a Laan Sao, a fence hand, which basically collapses his arm so that it becomes useless. Once I've successfully tied his hands or his biceps up and closed the gap, I can start kneeing him from a single collar tie or full tie plumb position. When he knees me back, I can slide just out of the way and use this off balance to return fire. I even do a little Gaang Sao, a little lower blocking motion, not to fully block the knee and hurt myself, but to deflect it out of the way just enough so then I can come back in and land another knee again. As I work my way from trapping to single collar tie to the full tie plumb, I want to then begin to break down my opponent's posture by really controlling the center line of his body and pushing his head down and collapsing his whole body into my chest to land devastating knees to the gut. During this hand fighting, if my opponent does grab my wrist, that's okay. I'm gonna use that against him by collapsing his own hands into his own chest or body so that the longer he grabs my wrist, he's actually trapping himself because I then trap my hand over his hand into his body. Or I'm taking advantage of the fact that he is holding on to me and I know that his body is linked to mine, and therefore I use his energy to my advantage by then pulling him into me because he's already attaching himself to me. So the longer he stays attached, the longer he gets sucked into receiving my knees. Eventually, he has to let go of my hands, but then I re-engage and I grab a hold of his hands and his neck and I continue to clinch him and knee him. Wing Chun emphasizes dominating the space, dominating your opponent's center, and this is exactly what's happening here. You can see me push and frame on his shoulders or neck or chin, which is a very good way for me to off-balance my opponent so that he can't throw any power knees at me. Remember that if the opponent is off-balance, they won't be able to generate any kind of power. Now, Wing Chun is both an external hard art and an internal soft art, which emphasizes using soft targets like a person's chin or a neck to maintain control with the least amount of energy used as possible. Here, I'm applying a wooden dummy technique. I'm creating a frame and I'm just putting it in his throat. Just like if you were in BJJ, side control, somebody's on top of you and you're doing a frame and you're pushing your knife hand or your wrist into his throat, they can't put pressure on you like that. They can't suck you into the clinch that way. He's just fighting his own weight at that point. Using very, very little power, I can just push his entire body weight off of me. I prevent myself from being clinched. I prevent my posture from being broken, and I can land more knees. In one of these knee exchanges, I take advantage of the fact that he's off balance. I just grab a hold of his knee, tip his head over on the other side, and just run in the other direction diagonally. He's gonna topple over just due to his weight. And it didn't require any strength or anything like that. I was just using the leverage from the Gaang Sao to the Taan Sao together to push him over effortlessly. So I hope you guys found this video helpful in thinking about the clinch and thinking about how to close the gap in a different way using some of these Wing Chun T-Sao concepts. Let me know in the comments if you like this video, what do you think of these principles and techniques, and let me know how it works out when you try it in sparring. Thanks for watching.